Hey guys, it's Carl Brown of GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play I See Fire by Ed Sheeran. So we're going to have a standard tuned guitar here with a capo at the 6th fret. Alright, so make sure you've got your capo there. Now I'm going to call out all the notes as if the capo is the 0th fret. So if I'm playing this note, I'm going to say this is the 2nd fret. Or if I'm playing this chord, I'll say it's an A minor chord because it's just that standard A minor shape. Alright, so let's get to work here. We're going to start by playing this intro here that I just played. We're going to have the 2nd fret there on the G, and then the 5th fret there on the B string. And you're going to hit the open low E string with it. So when you do that, you're going to hammer on the 4th fret on the 3rd string there. Pull back off to that 2 and pull off to the open string. Then you come over to the D string and you pick the open D, hammer that onto the 2nd fret, then hit the open G. So we have this. Alright, now go ahead and grab this C chord. What you're going to do is you're going to have just your 2nd finger here at the 3rd fret on the A string. You're going to pick with the thumb, index, and middle fingers, you're going to pick the A, D, and G strings, and when you do that, hammer on the 2nd fret there on the D string just to make it kind of a full C major shape. So we have this. One more time. You might want to mute that, bring your finger over to mute that low E. Alright, then you're going to go to this D shape. So hold like a D major chord here, but you really only need the notes here on the 2nd and 3rd strings. Now, have the G string open at first. You're going to hit the open D string with the open G, and as soon as you do that, you're going to hammer on the 2nd fret there on the G. Then pick the B string, which you got your 3rd fret there already. So we have this so far. And then to the E minor chord, which is just a standard E minor shape there. Now in between this, he has the kind of percussive effect going on where you just come down with your hand nice and relaxed on the strings. Now there's obviously going to be parts where you can't do that hit, so it's got something that's going on a little bit more active, and therefore you just leave it out. But otherwise, stay with the beat and try to keep that nice steady pulse going. Now sometimes when he does that hammer on the C, he'll do a full, kind of the full C major. Instead of this, he'll add that top note in the C major chord as well. And then the rest of it is the same. Alright, so the verse sounds like this, a little bit less active. Alright, so we're going to be based around just an E minor chord. Hit the 3 bottom strings, really just kind of hanging on the lower strings mostly. And then hit that open B string. And then he's going to go to this G chord with his 2nd fret there on the G string with it. Now he doesn't do that every time, but you'll hear that kind of the first time he plays that part in the song. You'll hear that transition. But for a lot of the song, he's just going, and he's just letting that ring, and perhaps hitting the low G with the open D when you get to that chord in the verse. So we have this. Then to the D with that same hammer on. and to the C with that same hammer-on. So we have this so far. And go through the same chords. The last chord now, instead of being a C, is just this kind of an A power chord for now, which is just, you can hit the open G string in there if you want, but it's open A, second fret on the D, and open G if you want that G. But those two bottom strings are just fine. Then back to the same chords that we did first. So we have this little. So that's just this kind of an A minor shape. It's based around an A minor, but he's just picking the A string, the second fret on the D, and the first fret on the B string. Then to this G chord with the B and the bass. So we have this, obviously this is not a G chord with the B and the bass, we're just comparing it to the capo for you guys who already know these chord shapes. Second fret there on the A string, open G, and then the third fret on the B string. And then that same C major little hammer on. Now, he just does it, the first time you play that verse, he just will do that maneuver once at the end. But when you hear it later in the song, he'll repeat it and do it again. So it's just the same thing. And then we have the chorus, which is basically just the E minor to C, D, back to the E minor. Repeat it. So you do it exactly like that 3 times. And then we have this. Basically ending it with that A chord again. So the 4th time through the chorus, you're just going to have that A chord with the open G string there, that A5. Now, the second time he plays the chorus, he's doing more of a strumming motion. So he's pretty much, you can just strum it. If you don't have a pick handy, you can just strum it with the back of your nails when you get to that chorus. Likes to keep this, like start it with an E minor 7, that 3rd fret there on the B string, and just let that note stay. And when he gets to the A chord at the end of the chorus, he had that note on top. Now he stays on that chord for a while. There's a little transition section there. Takes us to the bridge, which is just a straight strum of A minor to E minor to the G to D. Again, G. One more time. A minor, E minor, G, D, and then we have this little thing that's going to lead us back to the chorus. A minor. G with the B flat, with the B in the bass, to the C, to a D. So 4 chords fit in there. And back to the chorus. All right, so that's about it. You have a lot of like kind of delicate, kind of soft fingerstyle stuff going on, and then towards the end of the song, it's mostly just more of a strumming patterns of just kind of strumming, an easy strumming pattern with some simple chord shapes. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.